Thank you for pressing the self-destruction button.
Hey! Oh, hey! It's, it's like a koala bear crapped a rainbow in my brain!
Listen, here's $5. I've got to get to 1008 Park Avenue right away. It's an emergency. Look, I'm really in a hurry. Isn't there something you can do? Be $10 more. Look, I've got to be there before 5. Well, what's going on up there? We're getting someplace. Now, look, will you just get around him? Just get in this lane. Do it! I've got to be there by 5. Hey, mister, you're going to be 10 minutes late, so just keep your shirt on.
I think, a lot of us have family members that are going through a crisis or dealing with problems like this. So it's art therapy in a way. It's a cathartic kind of release for me.
Rack lays it up, no, but we do have a whistle and a foul. Ben just went after our 10. Trouble right here in the Motor City. We got big trouble here in the Motor City. Steven Jackson still screaming at the Pistons.
He came back now, but
start on the headsets. The Indiana broadcast.
And Ben Wallace is threw something at him. There goes Ben Wallace again.
There goes Artest up into the crowd. He's absolutely out of his mind. And Steven Jackson slugging people in the crowd here.
The whole Indiana team is in the crowd.
And now the Pistons are coming over.
And you want to be my latex salesman?
Hey, did you see that? Did you see somebody go past the window? What? Somebody just went past that window downwards. Oh. Must be a board meeting. Oh, yeah.
He's faking it, Julie. He's faking it.
I think he's in trouble.
Julie, this guy, if he can't take a joke, he stinks.
It's on fire! It's on fire!
Sir, I would like to complain about that last scene about people falling out of high buildings. I myself have worked all my life in such a building and have never once...
Jack, you know what? Hey, I really like that hate t-shirt. The whole angry young man, black thing, generation. You know what I mean? It's cool.
Yeah, it's the name of a comic book. Can I borrow your pen 1 second?
Absolutely.
happy now.
My artwork is popular because it connects with the ordinary person, and they can understand it very easily. And I've always meant it to be so. I've never confined my art to a particular section of humanity. I love people in general. My art reflects it, and that's the way it's always been.
Hello and welcome to Taylor Talks Comics Live. Thank you for joining me. I am Taylor, your host for the afternoon. I'm gonna let a few more people trickle in. I see some people filling up the chat. Please keep doing that. Appreciate that so much. Today is Global Recycling Day. So happy Global Recycling Day to everybody. Hopefully you recycle your cans and your jars and whatever else you recycle. Mark, yes, this is the right channel. That's just my little intro that I start off at noon to allow some time for people to trickle in, because YouTube gives you a notification. I want to give people time to come onto the show. But yes, you found the right place. How's everyone doing? Let's see. What are you guys talking about here? Weirdo, the beardo. What books has Taylor picked up this week? I'm going to let you know. I went to my shop earlier, but then also I had a viewer send me a huge, massive box of books that I'm going to be opening live on camera. He specifically requested me to open it live on camera, so I will be doing that. Here's Mark. Is this Taylor Talks Comics? I'm getting basketball footage. Yeah, that little intro is just various things that I love and adore, or various important things in my life. So it's a mixture of all sorts of stuff. James Abel, the super producer, is in the house. Taylor, are you going to mention the Fantagraphics shipping delay? It is the new Roberta Gregory book. Yeah, that's a book I was super looking forward to. It's on my list of most anticipated books of the year. I'm a fan of the Roberta Gregory comics that I've read. Unfortunately, I haven't read enough, so I'm hoping that the book can still get here. I don't think there's been an update on it, but what Mark is referring to is that there is some ship was struck or struck near the ship, the dock, or not the dock, sorry, the barge, I guess it's called. I don't know what they're called. I don't know the proper terminology here. By Iran, I believe, is the kind of weirdest headline I've ever read in comics. But yeah, so it's been delayed. I don't think they still know if the books have been damaged or not. They just know that the ship that is importing them will be delayed at the very least, and hopefully just a couple months. If the books have been damaged, obviously it's going to cause an even bigger delay. But it had I know the B word, cover your ears, bitchy, by Roberta Gregory was one of the books, and the other one was I don't know, it was some sort of book that was nothing like Roberta Gregory's book. Let me see if I can search it out real fast. There's two books that were on this particular barge. It was struck by an Iranian missile. Let me see if I can. It was a cargo ship. Oh, it was The Weird Worlds by the Atlas Comics Adventures in the Weird Worlds. That's another book I've been looking forward to. I love all the Atlas books. Today, actually, happy birthday, and better news than the Iranian missile. Happy birthday to Dr. Michael Vassallo. He is the gentleman that does all of the introductions for the Atlas books, and he's the utmost historian on all things Atlas Comics. I don't think there's anyone in the world that knows more about Atlas than he does. And today's his birthday, so happy birthday to him. But yeah, so the two books that were affected were Roberta Gregory's B Word and Adventures into Weird Worlds, which is the latest Atlas book. So hopefully we get good news on those as far as when we can receive those. Managed to pick up Locas. What a great book. Yes, that is an amazing book. It's a book I showed off on my latest video, I believe, or video. Yeah, my latest video. It's a big, thick collection of Love and Rockets comics by Jaime Hernandez, his Locas stories, collecting all of his Locas stories from the first 50 issues of Love and Rockets. Go check out my video. Got a pretty good response on the video, so that's awesome. But yeah, great book. Oh, new Peter Bag. Anyone read that yet? I have not. My comic shop did not pick it up. And they didn't pick up any of the facsimile editions that Fantagraphics has been doing either, which is they do pick up Fantagraphics single issues. Like they have like Psycho Drama Illustrated, and they have they do all the Ducks single issues. So I don't know why they didn't pick it up. And I don't really have a pull list there. I did in the past, but I don't anymore. So I usually just stop in on the day those things come out and hope for the best. I did pick up one comic today that came out. I'll show you. But yeah, so they didn't have that. So I think I'm going to order that through the Fantagraphics website with all those facsimile editions. So I do want the facsimile edition. They're coming out. The ones that announced so far were Hate #1, 8-Ball #1, Love and Rockets #1, and then the Roberta Gregory Naughty Bits, I think it's called, single issue #1 as well. So all those are the facsimile editions that they're coming out with. This is the 40th or 50th anniversary. I'm sorry, 50th anniversary of Fantagraphics. So they're coming out with facsimile editions of the important comics they've printed throughout the years, and yeah, so that's pretty cool. Jack Kirby interview. Okay, this seems like the correct channel. Yes. Anytime you see Jack Kirby, you know you're in the right place. What's up, everyone? Hello, MZO Brahms. Picture Peepers is in the house. Hello. Cool intro. Reminds me of TV Carnage or Kaleidoscope. I don't know if I'm familiar with either of those. But thank you. The book survived. A missile took out the ship. Okay, so the books did survive. And Fanta actually confirmed that this happened with the books. I don't know. I don't know the latest on it, honestly. Just picked up the Silver Surfer Return to the Spaceway. Super excited to read it. Also happy we are getting Silver Surfer Infinity Gauntlet later this year. I don't know. It must be downstairs. I have the Return to the Spaceways, and it's a great collection. But yeah, the Infinity Gauntlet one's going to be awesome because that's a lot of the Jim Starlin Silver Surfer leading up to Infinity Gauntlet. And that stuff, those are some of my favorite Marvel issues, especially from the 90s. That stuff's just really, really good. I do have an old video on my channel, actually, where I did a review of Silver Surfer Epic Collection Thanos Quest. And that is a good sampling of what will be in this omnibus. That's probably the first 400 pages of what will be in this omnibus. So if you're wanting to know why MZ Abrams and I are excited about this particular omnibus coming out, go check out my old video. It's called, just look up Taylor Talks Comics, Silver Surfer, Thanos Quest or something, and I'm sure it'll pop up. Whoa! DFC have turned Taylor. Taylor just said a bad word. Oh, sorry. If I'm saying a direct quote or a book title, I don't think it counts, does it? I don't know. You think it'll be rare to get a 9.8 through the missile strike? Hurrafan, thank you for joining me. I don't know. It'd be cool if they had I don't know. I don't want to even make light of the situation. Return of the Spaceways is so good. You're in for a treat. It is. And that also has the Mobius 2-issue series in there. There's a lot of good stuff in that one. Oh, there's the graphic novel is awesome as well. They are shooting missiles at our comic books. I read that not all the cargo was destroyed. I hope Roberta Gregory Omnibus is spared. Both were printed in India. Josh is on the look at that. He's like my investigative journalist here. New Peter Bag is titled Butch, and it's a softcover comic book. Butch is a great side character. Yeah, but it's like a single issue comic, though, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the. It's like a. I don't know. He's doing this thing. Like he came out with Hate Revisited last year, which was really good. I don't know if I have that up here. I probably have it downstairs with the box set. Yeah, and then Butch is, I don't know if it does say Butch #1, but I don't know if it's a one shot. And I kind of hope that's what Peter Bag does, is just kind of these one shot single issues of various hate related characters. How is everyone feeling about the top 20 Marvel Omnibus reprints? So yes, on Nearmic edition today, Omar announced what came in the top 20 of the most wanted reprinted omnibuses from Marvel, as voted on by the viewers. I was supposed to be on the show to kick that off. I just wasn't able to make it. I did make the slideshow for that show, and I will be on the show this weekend. That'll be the most wanted Marvel omnibuses that are most wanted Marvel omnibuses that don't exist yet. So it's kind of like a little bit different than the reprint poll, because these are books that have never been printed by Marvel. So I'll be on that show. It's on Sunday afternoon. I want to say it's like 2:30 or something. I don't know. It's Eastern time, by the way. And whenever I'll put it on my channel and my social media and stuff, whenever I am able to, the exact time and link and stuff like that, whenever it's closer to the time. But yes, Sunday afternoon we'll be doing that show, and it'll be me. I think Crisis will be there, Omar, and I think Tiger Eyes, the guy that started the poll back in the day, will be on there as well. But as far as the results for the top 20, the only thing that frustrates me is that Thor Omnibus Volume 2 didn't do well. I don't know why. I don't know. I have a feeling that Marvel will just reprint it one day, just out of the blue, kind of like they did like the Avengers Omnibuses Volumes 1 through 4. When Omar reminded them that it's the anniversary, they just like went and reprinted them. They didn't look to see what the demand was on this poll. So I'm hoping that's what Thor 2 comes out to be, because it never does well in these polls. I know people are looking for Thor Volume 3. Luckily, I got my hands on that one before it went out of print. But Thor Volume 2 is like my most wanted reprint, and it won't do well in these polls. But yes, as Dana says down here, hi Taylor, was Tomb of Dracula number 2 or 3 on the top 20 list? Number 2 did well. I think it finished. Let me see. I think I finished in the top 5, actually, if I remember it correctly. I'm part of the email chain that they send the results to. And that's the only thing I looked at. I haven't actually watched Omar's video. Let me see if I can scroll through the video real fast. Oh, that's a 2025 results. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, Tomb of Dracula was number 4. So that's Tomb of Dracula Volume 2 is number 4 on the list. I don't want to go through all the results, though. I know, Dana, you're just asking. You're a kind person. I can answer for you, but I don't want to go through all the results. Everyone go watch Omar's video. But yeah, so that finished at top 4. So hopefully we get that reprinted. I don't know. With volumes 1 and 2 doing so well. Sorry, that's rude for my phone to go off during the show. I should have better manners. Just kidding. But yes, so yeah, but what I was saying, volumes 1 and 2 of Tomb of Dracula finished so well a couple years ago in the poll. I assumed from that Marvel would just reprint 1 volume each October. So like last October we got volume 1. I assumed that this October we would get volume 2, and then next year volume 3. It didn't seem like that's in the plans, but what can you do? I don't know. Back up here though. How's everyone feeling about the top 20? Back to Josh. Okay. I don't know if the books are okay, but heard they did. It is minor compared to a lot, but it is insane and hard since a book but I might only have 1 printing. Yeah. Obviously, it goes without saying that this is small grapes, minor issues compared to the actual things happening in the world, especially when it comes to Iran and America right now. I don't really want to get into that topic because it's just depressing and awful. But yeah, I hope it goes without saying that obviously all of our complaints here are done with as like first world problems kind of thing. Like nobody's thinking that this is more important than what's going on in the world. And Josh, I know you're not implying that it is, but or implying that I was thinking it was or whatever. So James, what time is it? I think it's 2:30 on Sunday, but yeah, I'm sure he'll know. We're getting the Thor Penguin Classic printed. Ooh, I wonder what issues that includes. Excellent. Devil Dino was number 1. Yeah, no, it wasn't. I don't know, but I've been thinking for the last week. I forget I think it's Picture Peepers came up with the idea last week of doing like a 70s Kirby omnibus with Devil Dino and Black Panther and some other stuff. And I kind of think that's kind of the route to go. I think that'd be really cool. And then you can also put in all the covers because Kirby did a bunch of covers in the 70s. You can put the What If issue in there. The last Fantastic Four issue that Kirby ever did, like what if the Marvel bullpen was the Fantastic Four? You can throw that issue in there. That's a great single issue. It's kind of, unless you get the What If omnibuses, it's not really in any. I don't know. Is it in Fantastic Four? Volume 4? No, it's not. So yeah, that'd be kind of cool to have that thrown in there as well, and all those great covers would be cool. I was hoping the Earth X trilogy to make it in the top 20. College rules. Phone goes off. Said person owed everyone a pizza. Well, dang, that's gonna be a lot of pizza I owe. Can you explain collecting omnis to me? Well, thank you, the Immoral Sticky Shack, for joining me. We're talking essentially about reprints, which have no real rarity. Is collecting omnis really about reading? Wouldn't collecting be best for single issue? About reprints, but have no real rarity. Yes, I think if you're trying to collect for money, the single issues would definitely be the route to go. Reprinting omnibuses, though, isn't really about collecting. It's more about reading. If anybody's trying to collect omnibuses to make money, I think they're in a terrible business. There's a lot of easier ways to make money than collecting omnibuses. But the reprint is because they go out of print. Marvel can only print so many of these big giant books. So when they go out of print, we try to get them reprinted so that we can. So if we missed out on it the first time, we can buy it for reading. At least that's how I look at it. I don't know if anybody else is. Here is the Thor Penguin Classic. You posted this twice. I'm trying to see if okay, there's no difference. Badger Stump, thank you. Thor Journey into Mystery 83, 85, 114, 116, 128, 133, 154, 157, and 159 to 161. I think that's all Kirby, isn't it? I always forget my numbers. Yeah, 161 I think is still Kirby, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, that's all Kirby. Yeah, that's all Jack Kirby. So all Jack Kirby in that book. That's awesome. Jack Kirby Thor is so much fun. If you guys haven't read it, like, don't be intimidated by the. I was intimidated by the Shakespearean language. I was always told that it was a kind of a dense read, and that Stanley really hams it up with the Shakespearean type lingo, and it makes it a hard read. But I read that first omnibus, which isn't even the best Kirby stuff, honestly. But I read that first omnibus in like a few days. It was I just blasted through. It was so much fun. I have a video on that book saying, I think the thumbnail says something like, "Don't believe the haters. Thor Omnibus Volume 1 is awesome." Because there are a lot of haters, including Omnidog. Jess Bragg hated on the book. He's someone that I value his opinion, so it's kind of like, yeah, maybe I don't need to read it. But I absolutely love Kirby's Thor. I think it's definitely worth reading. If you want to make money with collecting, Lego Omnibus is reading. Lego is infuriating. I'll be honest. Like, it's how expensive those sets are is infuriating. And then they don't ever go down in price or value. They only go up. You can rarely get a sale on a Lego set. I wish it was much cheaper, but it's capitalism and they can price them as much as people want to pay for them, I guess. Omnis are all about the reading order. I agree with that. It's about getting a chunk of comics in one experience. I love those Penguin Classics since it's an easy way to sample the character, the Caphead Kirby and Steranko run, which is amazing. Also, I have a video on that omnibus as well. That's Omnibus Volume 1. But I agree, especially when you're looking at shelf space and having shelf space for all these books. I think that might be the better route to go. Like, I kind of want to read through some of these runs once and then maybe from there get kind of the greatest hits. I was just thinking about the Atlas collection, actually, the aforementioned. Yesterday I got my review copy in for the Bill Everett artist collection, which are like the big oversized Atlas collections. And I was thinking, like, eventually those might be my route to go to keeping those books and the Atlas collection hardcovers. I don't know if I'll keep those forever because there's going to be so many. But yeah, the Bill Everett book looks gorgeous, by the way. I can go get it if anybody wants to see it. It's actually downstairs. Thanks. My hunch was that it was about reading. I wonder if digital will ever upend the Omni world. Omnis aren't the most comfortable format to read, so maybe digital can fill that void with a huge library. I agree that, well, actually, I don't know. It not being the most comfortable reading experience. I usually read at tables anyways, or even on my lap on a couch. So I don't have an issue with that. It is hard to lug around a big fat book. I talked about this last week. I often throw a book in my backpack and take it on the go. Taking a big fat 1,500 pager omnibus is kind of hard. Slimmer ones I don't mind. But as far as digital upending it, I don't know. I think it seems like of all the physical media that's going digital, reading has kind of, yes, there has been reading digitally is popular, but for the most part, I think physical media reading has still been kind of healthy. And myself personally, I don't like reading digitally. I don't like reading comics digitally. I will, but typically it's if I'm trying to sample a series or if I'm going on a trip. Because if I go on vacation and go like flying somewhere or driving somewhere, I don't like to take big books because they weigh a lot. So I typically load up a series on my iPad for that. But other than that, I like the physical reading experience. I don't think I don't know. There's just nothing like it. I got rid of Thor Volume 1. It was so boring and Larry was terrible. Seriously? Oh, that's sad. I have to say, I think it's better than Roy Thomas Conan. Is that a hot take? Or is that like shots fired at you, Josh? I'll take Thor Volume 1 over Roy Thomas Conan Volume 1. Yeah, because early Kirby, I'd take over early BWS. What is the proper pronunciation of Thor's hammer? Mjolnir. I think he spelled it wrong, but it is Mjolnir. It's spelled Mjolnar. No, Mjolnir. 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 Kind of like meal, like Meal, and then near, like the opposite of far. Mjolnir. Lego sales is double points, aka trade in for cash. That's true. I always thought it'd be cool to, as a job, if someone wanted to pay me to build their Lego sets for them. If there's somebody out there that's weird enough that doesn't like the experience of building Legos, but they want to have them on display, I don't know who or why that would exist, but they send me their Lego set, I build it, and I send it back to them. That's a job I'd like to get into, or a little freelancing gig. If anybody knows anybody like that, hit me up. Obligatory big book plug. The Kirby Thor Monster Edition is a thing to behold for those of you that aren't overly concerned with shelf space. I'd love to own that, but I don't have shelf space for it. And I'd rather collect like artist editions. I do want the Kirby Thor artist edition. Hopefully that comes back into print. But yeah, those books, I do wish those books still have like the Marvel scans though with the glossy paper. And that kind of hurts the experience for me. Oh, yes, it's a beauty. Reading physical and digitally are two different experiences. Watching a movie or music, the same digital or physical. Yeah, I think people would argue, real like cinephiles and audiophiles would argue that watching a movie digitally is not the same as in the theater or physical because of 4K and all that jazz. But I would argue that the gap between the differences and experiences for me personally is much wider. So I agree with you, Josh, that reading is different. I don't know. I'm not as much of like a cinephile in the experience of watching something that I can tell if it's 4K or not. It never bothered me. I mean, we talked about it on this channel. I'm collecting VHS tapes and trying to get a CRT to watch it on like the crappiest version possible on purpose. So, yeah, I agree. Reading is different. I'd rather read trade paperbacks than digital. Digital is useful for research or sampling a book, but that's all. I agree. Taylor is dead to me. He's saying this because I said Thor was better than Conan. Oh, yeah. That volume 1 of Conan is not good. Big John. I don't even know if I've gotten that far into Conan, Josh, honestly. I've read, because I had the first couple of Epic collections. I read those, and then I read, I've read some other stories here and there, like Red Nails. I've read, so I haven't read a ton. I don't think I've ever read anything beyond what would be volume 1. Should I? Where could I start? Larry used nothing but Mr. Hyde and the Grey Gargoyle over and over each time. I do agree that the Rogues Gallery for Thor in those early stories is not the best. But the way it builds and builds and builds, and you can see like Kirby's really like opening up his mind to these cosmic ideas. By the end of the omnibus, I was just like completely sold. I was ready to go. But those early issues are kind of hard to get through if you're expecting this big, like, New Gods type cosmic story. You don't get that in those early ones. I still think single issue comics are definitely good for value retention. I think it enhances the reading experience being able to own the original copy over a reprint. I have an example of that right here. So I was walking out of my shop today and I saw this, the complete Flex Metallo for $12. And I have one of these issues, I think, physically. And I have the hardcover, but this is one of those if you know kind of things. These single issues have the original coloring in it. And the coloring was done by the same person on both, Tom McCraw. I believe that's the case. I think he did the original coloring, and then he did the coloring for the deluxe edition. And this is one of my favorite comic series ever. It's only 4 issues. And it's Flex Metallo, it's Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely. And he's kind of going through all the different periods of like comic books. So you can see like this first issue is kind of like Golden Age looking. And then the next cover is kind of like EC Comics inspired. And this is obviously Dark Knight Returns era. And then the last one is kind of like the Grant Morrison New Age kind of Vertigo look that goes along with like Doom Patrol. So yeah, so I absolutely love these, and these have the original coloring. So I've always wanted to have the whole series in single issues, and now I do. The original coloring is just so much better. The deluxe edition had like coloring that was like more like, I want to say like realistic, and not so comic booky. It's kind of like the similar treatment as The Killing Joke. I like the original John Higgins coloring that has like more of a psychedelic feel to it, as opposed to the Brian Boland coloring when he recolored it that had more of a realistic, muddier feel to it. So yeah, absolutely love the series. There's some cool movie. Look at Kingpin, great 90s movie. The Crow City of Angels. Is that the sequel? I don't think I ever saw that one. Sam Goody in Musicland. And Twister. Look at that. From the producers of Jurassic Park and the director of Speed. But yeah, so when we talk about single issue experiences, yes. So I was happy to pick this up. I don't know. That's not exactly what you're getting to, but for reading experience, this is the way to get Flex Metallo. I don't even know if I'll keep my deluxe edition now. Kirby didn't build anything in Volume 1. That's incorrect. I don't even want to go through that right now, but you're wrong. I agree with Dana and would add archival purposes, but nothing can take away from the physical reading experience for me. I 100% agree with that. Physical reading is just so much better. Any thoughts on the upcoming Art and Beauty omnibus release? I think it's only 4 issues were printed of the Chrome series. It's a very thin book, Mark. I actually have a copy downstairs. I got my review copy in already. It's thin though. It's not like really fat, but it looks beautiful, and it's great because it has like anecdotes goes with all the artwork as well. So it's not just like an art book. I never had the original printing of the issues or anything. I never had anything from Art and Beauty. So I don't know if that's how it was originally released or if this is new to this collection, but it has like little anecdotes with each picture that Aracrum drew. So it's pretty cool. Hey now, Harvey, you joined me. Thank you. The original coloring of Flex Metallo is so much better. I agree. So you're going to send me physical. Okay, rewind. Show me what you got. I saw the crow. Oh, I didn't get the crow. Thank you for joining me, CLCL Rocks. Everybody go subscribe to Cupcakes Comic Reviews. Great YouTube channel. Oh, and everybody go subscribe to Josh Greathouse's YouTube channel as well. Inside the Panel. And Picture Peepers, which I forget the name of your channel. I always forget the name of your channel. But those are 3 great YouTubers right there. Everybody go check them out. But I got Flex Metallo issues 1 through 4. Is what I did. Just said I picked up. That's the only thing I've shown off so far. I did get this ash can too. Everyone Loves a Jewel Thief. It was a free ash can on the counter. It's by Aaron Campbell and Tim Seeley. Let's see if that's any good. Someday, Josh, someday. City of Angels is fun. Taylor excited for City of Angels says a lot. I wasn't excited for it. I'd never seen that movie. I was mostly excited for Kingpin, which is a good movie. I stand by that. And Twister, which is good. I've never seen City of Angels. I have seen the original Crow. I like that movie. Rest in peace, Brandon Lee. Singles rule. F Omni. Dim bricks are unreadable. I disagree. Oh, but he's kidding. There were 2 ash cans. I got both of them. No, that's the only one my shop had. Comic Cap Reviews. Cupcakes Comic Reviews. Thanks, Josh. Josh, share a link to your channel too. Josh dropped a video today called Slinging Pixels, Not Ink. What the heck is he talking about? Well, you have to watch the video to find out. Josh is a cartoonist himself. Bang Ballad of the Tiger is his comic that he's been making lately, and he just did a successful Kickstarter on it, and I've showed it off on this channel before. So Josh, share your own channel too. Picture Peeps, comics you'll never have. This Picture Peepers channel right there too. Subscribe to all those channels. Low Hit, where is your Lobo? I've read half this issue so far. I wasn't able to finish because the stream started, and I freaking love it. I'm going to do a review on this probably and drop the video today, right after the stream. This is done by Scotty Young and Jorge Corona, and this is Lobo for the fans of Lobo from the 90s. If you loved Lobo in the 90s, which everybody should because it's an amazing video, or it's an amazing video, it's an amazing comic series. This is for that fan. Finally, after like 20 plus years of not getting a good quality Lobo comic, we're finally getting it. This is DC's next level. It's their second level of whatever this new initiative they're doing, and the all-in initiative. And Lobo's, they're starting, this is like a new ongoing series. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I will be here for each and every issue because I want to support Lobo, who's one of my favorite comic book characters, and we need good Lobo comics. I don't want to support the bad Lobo comics, the good stuff. Yes, I got Lobo. Wait, no, this one. My newest video. Here's Josh's latest video where he's slinging pixels. And you can find out what the heck he means by that by watching that video after the stream. I'll drop a video on DC Next Level today. So if you want more DC Next Level content beyond my Lobo video, if you want to see what Deathstroke and Batgirl are up to, or is it Batwoman? I think it's Batwoman. Go check out Cupcakes Comic Reviews. I'm working on it. I'm not James. Sorry. Videos for Flaming Carrot and Yummy Fur coming soon. Yeah, so Picture Peepers, the pitch for his channel. I'll do quick pitches for the channels. Picture Peepers does a lot of custom binding, which is amazing. I love bookmaking. I never have partaken in bookmaking myself, but I love watching people do it. Something I've always wanted to get into. I talk all the time about how I'm trying to custom bind my Master of Kung Fu issues after I collect them all. But Picture Peepers does an amazing job. His book design is impeccable. I always say that he should be hired by a lot of publishers to do book design. But his Flaming Carrot and Yummy Fur might be some of his best work. I don't know. The Yummy Fur is great. He did it as if it would be like a 2 hardcover books inside a slipcase, kind of like 8-ball style, like the complete 8-ball. And his Flaming Carrot project is amazing. It's totally comprehensive. Everything like Flaming Carrot's ever appeared in. These won't be for sale. So anybody trying to buy them, it's just something that Picture Peepers does for fun, but it makes for great video content. Josh, like I said, he's a working cartoonist, so his stuff is awesome to look at and get an inside view from the mind of a cartoonist. So that's the reason why you should follow his YouTube channel. And then CSL rocks with Cupcakes Comic Reviews. He is a Wednesday warrior, and every Wednesday, every week, he drops a review showing off the books that he pulled that week. So there you go. Deathstroke was dope too, and Batman was good. DC is the best and greatest publisher. Lobo works when he is the joke. A lot forget that. Yeah, and I agree. And they get it right. Scotty Young gets it right, which he has the right mind for it. And Jorge Corona's artwork is beautiful. It fits perfectly in line. Like if you that Lobo compendium, which I have a video on that as well. If you plug this issue into the Lobo compendium, you would assume that this came out in the same time period. Like they totally nail it. I meant Batwoman. I'm 20 minutes behind Harvey Picar. I got the next month all loaded for my channel. Dang, way to go. I'd rather have an ambush bug ongoing. I'm not a fan of Lobo. Ambush bug would be awesome too. Another Keith Giffen project. What tier did everyone back for Tyrant? Slipcase Complete Edition plus Slipcase Artist Edition. The one I want the most is the Complete Edition. Because it's going to be like totally comprehensive. It's going to have pages in there that were going to be issues 5 and 6. It's going to have interviews, and it's going to be chock full of stuff. So that's what I'm most excited about, I think. But the Artist Edition is going to be beautiful as well. I'm hoping to get both. That's my goal. If only someone had tips into getting into self-binding. Picture Peepers. Tyrant went all in for the both editions signed. I'm glad he got the endorsement check. Money paid well. Oh, I don't get paid for plugging your stuff. Taylor Talks Lobo. I just do it for friends. Got to go to work. Do you read Gru the Wanderer? I love finding Sergio Aragonés comics in the dollar bins. I wish I did. I need. That's a series that I've always wanted to pick up and read. I hopefully one day he'll do like thick collections of it. But I am a big fan of Sergio Aragonés. I love all his work I've read in Mad Magazine. Slipcase completed and Artist Edition. James Gunn Ambush Bug movie would be awesome. James Gunn would totally nail an Ambush Bug movie, and he's gonna kill Lobo. By kill it, I mean like do well. Jason Momoa, I was never a fan of his Aquaman. I just didn't think it seemed like they were trying to make MCU Thor underwater. Is what it seemed like to me. You know, no offense if they like those movies, but Jason Momoa as Lobo with James Gunn on the project, it's going to be amazing. Usagi Yojimbo is why we won't get a Gru collection. What does that mean? I don't know that story. I know Sergio is not a fan of big fat collections of books, but what's that to do with Usagi? I know Stan Sakai is the letterer on Gru, but why does that affect potential Gru collections? All right, so I also picked up Godzilla Volume 5, the Godzilla Library Collection. The 6th one came out last week, and I noticed that I've not picked up 5 yet, and I noticed it was starting to disappear on some websites, which always makes me concerned that it's going to go out of print. So I made sure to pick it up, and I'll pick up Volume 6 whenever I get a chance. But this concludes the Rulers of Earth story, which I think was like 25-issue series. So this has issues 13 through 25. Yeah, the final 13 issues. So the first long ongoing series with IDW, Godzilla. I love Godzilla comics though, so I've been picking up these. I did a video on the first volume. But now it's time to show off this giant box. This was a 30-pound box of comics that was sent to me by Oni Baba Yaga. He's a viewer that he's in the chat a lot. I don't think it's been on the most recent shows, but he's in the chat a lot, and I think he wants to. I don't think he wants to be revealed his real name, so I'm just going to say Oni Baba Yaga. He's been in talks with me about this box, and it's been a long time coming. He even visited the Fantagraphics store in Seattle, and a cool story though. He was in there, and he was asking the people at the shop about me, and they said they all knew me, and they watched my channel in the shop. So, like, I knew the publisher, Fantagraphics, and Tucker Stone and Eric Reynolds. I know they know who I am, and they've watched my channel. I've spoken to them about it, but I didn't know people at the Fantagraphics store bothered to watch my show. So some of the books in here I think are from Fantagraphics shop, and I think, but Oni Baba Yaga can correct me, but I'm pretty sure he said that they covered the cost of them because of what I do for Fantagraphics, which is really cool. And then all the other stuff is from Oni Baba Yaga himself. Wait, hold on a second. Pause. Okay, sorry. So I'm going to open this box in live. I'm going to do it live and show you guys what's in it. But first, I'm going to get caught up on this Sergio Aragonés stuff. Aragonés wasn't impressed with the numbers Stan was getting and the amount of work, so no collections. The amount of work, I mean, I know there's work that goes into collecting a book, but like, I always feel like with these artists that have these long series, they're just leaving money on the table. And heck, you can like have someone else design the book for you and put it together, and then you just reap the benefits. I think a series like Gru would do pretty good numbers if you get with the right publisher. So I'm surprised. Where to start with Usagi Ojimbo? I read the single last week about his ancestor in the 80s, and I dug it. The good thing about Usagi, low hit, is that you can start pretty much anywhere. Any new story arc will have a good starting point. Now, I recommend starting with this beautiful box set from Fantagraphics, which is a 2 slipcase box set. The other book is downstairs. And it's like look at my son's mini comic of Usagi. And it's like, I think it's $100 cover price, but it has like 1,000 pages of Usagi comics in it, and it's the very first stories. So that's a great place to start. You can also start with volume 1 of these Usagi Ojimbo Saga, book 1. These are thick collections. They're like 600 pages of great comics, some of the best comics you'll ever read. And they're only like $30 cover price. 600 pages of comics for $30 is a great value. But I'd start at either one of those spots. Sergio also doesn't like the omnibus reading experience. I don't know why. I hear very good things about Space Godzilla right now. The new Godzilla ongoing series I definitely want to read. That's my favorite free comic book day output last year was the the three. They had like 3 different stories. They have 3 different ongoings right now. I'm waiting for them to all be collected. Okay, yelled at Panel Bound about getting creepy, but they aren't listening to me. I'll work on that, Josh. Only 10 minutes behind now. Oh, we know Taylor. We know him very well. How do you know that, man? Depends on the tone. Oh, I got you. No, it seemed like 1.5 speed. It seemed like it was in good favor. Just had an email through about Tyrant Kickstarter, another 10K, and they unlocked the first stretch goal live Zoom event with Bassett and Rug. Ooh. 2.5. Stan signed all the Usagi hardcovers. That's why they won't reprint the hardcovers. Okay. I mean, I know that's why. I don't know. What's that to do with Greer? Is that like... Sergio doesn't have to do that. And also, I don't understand why Stan doesn't reprint those without the signature. So the signature ones are still kept special, but he can reprint them. I don't know. You can start anywhere on a budget. The Dark Horse Saga paperbacks. Okay, Josh. That looks awesome. $50. Okay, done. They go in order, but Stan is good about new friendly readers. Characters come in and out easy to enjoy. I agree. So yeah, Usagi is great. You can jump in anywhere. I'm just telling you what I know. Okay. Yeah, it is massive. It's 30 pounds. I don't know what's all in here. But thank you to Oni Baba Yaga for sending this. I never take it for granted when people send me books. It's always, it blows my mind, honestly, that people want to send me stuff. And it's just, I don't know. It's amazing. It's humbling. And it's been happening a lot lately, which, again, thank you so much. I don't know if I need to get like a P.O. box ready because people are sending me so much stuff. I was starting off with a business card for an artist, Priscilla Kim. There's the art, sorry. This whole box is full. This is insane. I don't even know where to start. It's all packaged very well. He did warn me I needed an X-Acto knife. Oh, wow. I can already tell that I'm not even going to recognize some of these books. I hope it's nothing but spoons. The Baba Yaga would break into homes and count spoons. Oh, good times. Got to go. Great channel. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Anybody can watch this show on replay as well. It's always available under the live tab on my YouTube channel. And you can comment on that too if you watch the video later. If you're watching this on replay, comment down below and I will reply to you all. This is, I don't know what these books are. I don't recognize these, but the artwork is amazing. So the first one is Professor Dario Bava. It looks like a 70s exploitation movie, the poster, or it looks like a poster from a 70s exploitation movie. And it's done by Rob Israel. He's Dallas based. There's some of the artwork. I'm not gonna be able to open up each one of these books and show them off. But if there's a particular book you want to see the interiors of, let me know and I will stop and open them. And then it seems like a follow-up. It's Murder Vibes from the Monster Dimension. Also, it has like that kind of 70s horror vibe to it. Same back cover as the other one. Who's the publisher on these? I don't know. Are they self-published? Oh, look at that. He threw in a fantagraphics bookmark with some Jim Woodring artwork on there. This artwork is amazing, though. All right, I'll show off a couple pages. It's a diabolic graphic book. Looks like they're self-published, maybe through Kickstarter or something. I don't know. They look amazing, though. Great start. Oh my gosh, this book is this box is so full. Watch Taylor Talks Comics. Okay, if we ask to open each book. Well, if you really want me to, I can. I just don't want to spend all you guys' time opening all these books. But let me know. If there's any books you want me to open up, I will open them all up for you. Again, thank you so much, Oni Baba Yaga. This box is... You spoiled me. This box is insane. Ooh, okay, this one I knew he was sending me because he asked me if I had it. This is the latest Daniel Warren Johnson series with Riley Rosmo on art. The Moon is Following Us, volumes 1 and 2. I haven't read this, and I'm a big fan of Daniel Warren Johnson and Riley Rosmo. I think Riley Rosmo is a really good artist. So I'll definitely be reading these, maybe doing a review. All of this could be content, honestly. And then he also sent Falling in Love on the Path to Hell. Sounds like an emo song, which I was an emo kid back in the day. I still am. This is another Image series. Oh, wow. That art looks awesome, too. This is by Jerry Duggan and who else? Jerry Duggan, Gary Brown on story and art. Chris O'Halloran on coloring. He's a great colorist. So I'm excited for that. It's going to be cool to read. Ooh, this is a Charles Forsman comic. Dun, 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 dun. Try to delicately open these. Hobo Mom by Charles Forsman. I've never read this before. This is by Fantagraphics. Honestly, I don't think I've read any. Oh, here's another Jim Woodring bookmark. I love bookmarks, so this is cool. I don't think I've read any Charles Forsman, actually. I think the only comics I've read of his were in the collections of like the America's Best Comics or whatever. Single father and preteen daughter are reunited with a woman who once left them, forcing all three to confront their own notions of happiness. So that's going to be good. That's Hobo Mom. Ooh. This is a series I read digitally, and I've wanted to have it physically. It made my top reads of 2025 list. And now I can reread it physically, which will probably make me like the series even more than I already did. And that is the Dennis Camp. Let me get the other gentleman's first name. Zawatsky. Eric Zawatsky, Assorted Crisis Events. This is a series everybody needs to be reading if they haven't already started. This collects the first 5 issues in this trade paperback. It's only cover price $16.99 too. So it's like that nice entry level pricing from Image. You get nice chapter breaks, which I appreciate. But really just amazing book. Amazing comic. Everyone needs to check this out. Again, thank you, Oni Baba Yaga. I don't know how many times I could say that in this video. But just know that I am forever grateful. Charles Foreman is great. This is a book I don't have from Richard Sala. And I know, Dana, I know you're going to be a big fan of this one. But I've read it through my library, The Chuckling What's It. This is going to make good content. I meant to do this for my 31 Days of Halloween a couple years ago when I got it from my library, but I never got around to making it. So I'll make sure to do this video this year for my 31 Days of Horror Comics that I'll do in October again. So if you're a fan of horror comics, I do that every year, and it's a lot of fun showing off all the different avenues that horror comics can be. Richard Saul is just amazing, though. If you've never seen his artwork, absolutely love his stuff. Dana just put a book together last year of his earliest comic, and I have a video on that. That's why I shouted her out. But this is gorgeous. This is the last book that I think this came out posthumously, actually. Oh, look, another wood ring bookmark. Dang. I wonder if the people at the shop threw all those in. Yeah, this came out posthumously. Sadly. But yeah, Richard Saul is no longer with us, unfortunately, but he was an all-time great cartoonist with an uncanny mind. I want to catch up with some of these. Sorry. It's the internet. It's made for unboxing. You're right. Just back the bare bones complete edition. Shipping to Canada is always brutal. Yeah, that unfortunately sucks, Peter. I agree with you. Make a playlist called the Oni Baba Yaga box. That's actually not a bad idea. I really admire you video maker folks that can keep up with such a steady schedule. I barely manage an Instagram review every few weeks. It's not easy, and I don't really keep the best schedule. Trust me, because Josh and James will remind me. I read the Jerry Duggan book. It's a love story about a samurai and a cowboy in the afterlife. That's an amazing pitch. I love that. Yeah, shipping is high. It was such a pain. Have I sent you a set of Web of Horror bookmarks? You have not. I would love that, though. I love bookmarks, too, and had a blast making these. I love bookmarks, especially because I'm always reading like 20 different books at once, unfortunately, because I always read based on my mood. So if I'm not in the mood for a certain genre book, I'll stick a bookmark in that book and move on to something else. Charles Foreman is great. Assorted is fun. For my Kickstarter, I screwed up the order to Finland. Blah. I was really let down by Assorted Crisis events. Really? Sala! Chuckling What's It is great. Maybe have the title say sponsored by Oni Baba Yaga. I should, because I'm not even a third of the way through this box. Fun isn't how I describe Assorted, more like emotionally manipulative towards no end. Yeah, but in the best way. For YouTube, I find it easier to keep ahead than behind. Yes, that's very true. Chuckling What's It was originally published while Sala was still with us. That edition is, I think, the third edition, and it did come out after he passed away. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because I thought it was being printed right around the same time as his passing. I remember those happening like around the same time, which was super tragic. So it did come out before he passed, which is I'm glad he was able to see that. Yeah, this I guess I didn't check. This probably is like a second or third printing. It doesn't say. This edition, blah, blah, blah. It just says this edition was printed in January 2023. So. Oh, this is so cool. This is not a book, but it is fantagraphics. It's a tote bag with Jaime Hernandez artwork on there. Look at that. That is amazing. Josh, you want to know why you did read Love and Rockets? Look at this cartooning right here. Look at that inspiration you can grab from it. That's awesome. It's a little tote bag. I can carry my library books to and from the library in this. It's awesome. Oh, look at that. Speaking of Usagi, holy crap. I have collecting Usagi. I only have the Fantagraphics box set, and then I have the Saga paperbacks, the thick ones I just showed off earlier, volumes 1 through 7. Until now, I was missing out on volumes 8, 9, in the other volume called Legends, because they didn't reprint. I think they reprinted 8 and 9, but not Legends. I can't remember. But he sent me volume 8. Look at that. Speaking of Usagi, right on topic. This is awesome. by multiple Eisner, Harvey, and Ringo Award winner Stan Sakai. Second edition with a brand new cover. Yeah, so they did reprint this one then, because this is the second edition. Oh man, Stan Sakai's artwork and his storytelling. Just amazing stuff. Like how he can like bounce back and forth between cartoony and serious and violent and silly, like it's just amazing. And that's what makes Usagi so great. Here is a hardcover from Image Comics for a series I never read. Some of the stuff I knew was coming because he had messaged me asking me if I had this book or not. Or asked me like, hey, do you have this book? If not, then I would reply. Harvey says, 100% Dana knocked it out of the park with Night Drive. I agree. Oh, and Chris Brogan says, I read Night Drive and that was a beautiful intro. You did, Dana. Yeah, I agree. Night Drive was an amazing book. It's one of my favorite collected editions last year. The book was designed by Daniel Klaus, who was a friend of Richard Sala, and then it's still sealed. It's a brand new. And then Dana, who was a friend of Richard Sala's, also was the editor on the book and put it together and wrote the intro to it, which was beautiful. I agree. And Dana Klaus wrote an afterword, I believe, to it. But if you want to see that book and what makes it so special and cool, I did do a video on it. Just search on my channel for Night Drive. I also have a playlist called Fantagraphics, where all the Fantagraphics books I ever reviewed is on there. It's probably my most extensive playlist I have on there, because I review a lot of Fantagraphics books. So if you just want to go on there and turn a playlist on in the background and while you're doing something else, that'd probably be a good one to do. This is 8 Billion Genies by Charles Soule and Ryan Brown. I'm a big Ryan Brown fan. I think his cartooning is a lot of fun. And I loved curse words. I did a video on curse words, but I've never read this series, 8 Billion Genies. And I know I'm going to love it because I love Ryan Brown stuff. I also have the thick collection of God Hates Astronauts by Ryan Brown. But yeah, and they make a good team too. Curse words is a lot of fun. So I'm excited to read this finally. I don't know where to go with this thing. Huh? There's a note on this one. Again, thank you, Oni Baba Yaga. This is just amazing. I can't believe this box. It's insane. Translate Me, Taylor. The packaging is impeccable too. I have to give you compliments on your packaging. Every one of these books is 100% safe. Some people are like real anal about packaging when you're like buying and selling books. I know this because I've sold books on eBay before and people have been like incredibly picky. And I feel like I package really, really well. Some people are just never going to be satisfied. And those people that are like super, super anal about the littlest imperfection of the books, I feel like shouldn't be buying books used on eBay. I feel like they're doing themselves a disservice by thinking they're going to get a book in perfect condition, buying it used on eBay. But this is a whole thing of bookmarks. Holy crap. Did I forget anything? It says, translate me, Taylor. And this book is, I can't read, but it does say 18 plus on it. It's in another language. I'm not even sure the language. Looks like the cartooning looks like kind of Josh Simmons like. Oh, this has to be Josh. Is this Josh Simmons? There's Josh Simmons Batman. Is this all Josh Simmons? I can't read it to find out if it's Josh Simmons or not. I can't even read the names. Oh yeah, there it is. All characters and story art by Josh Simmons. Translation rights arranged through Fantagraphics. Oh wow, man! I have to give myself credit. I was happy that I picked out Josh Simmons' name. Is it Mansion Press? No, it's not. It's Comic Federation. It says Instagram.com/com Federation. But it's a collection of Josh Simmons comics. It even has his Batman comics in here, which is awesome. That's why it says 18 plus on it. But it even has some of this stuff in here. I'm definitely going to have to use my Google Translate to read this. And I'm excited about that. I love Josh Simmons comics. I have a video I did last October. My favorite was like Josh Simmons does horror comics or something or other. But some of it's black and white, some of it's in color. Like, look at that. This looks like, what's that one Johnny Ryan book? What is it? Pitfall? That's not Pitfall. Death Pit, what is it called? Someone let me know in the comments. The Johnny Ryan book. Poison Riot. Poison. What is it? Prison Pit. Thank you, Peter. Peter wins. Yes. Prison Pit is the name of the Johnny Ryan book. That kind of looked like it. That's awesome. I have a foreign language book with Josh Simmons. Here's some of the other bookmarks I got. Here's a sticker. This is a sticker, not a bookmark, but it's Mad Titan Comics with Thanos on it. I'll probably use that as a bookmark. I don't know. Correctional prison. There's some sort of patch in here. I don't even know what that is. Wonder Woman bookmark. One Piece. Exo Manowar. Superman. Pokemon. I give that one to my son. Oh, these are all from comic shops. His local comic shops. Sailor Moon. Man, there's a million of these. My Hero Academia. Venom. Wonder Woman. Batman. Wolverine. I said I like bookmarks. It's like he read my mind. Look at that Fantastic Four by Kirby. That's gonna be my new favorite bookmark. Some Goku and some more Fantagraphics bookmarks. A whole stack of bookmarks. This is amazing. Okay. Been there. What is this? It says Starbucks on it. Prison Planet. So close. I know. I was like Pit. Poison Pit. Prison. Yeah. Prison Pit. It's on the tip of my tongue. That's a fun comic, by the way. Johnny Ryan. This is a Starbucks. I'm assuming a mug, or is there something else in here that's not Starbucks? Oh, it is. Look at that. It's one of the Starbucks. What is it called? Been There series. It's a Starbucks mug. That's awesome. Well, thank you. That's a great little add-on. I love coffee, by the way. Always drinking coffee live on stream. Usually iced, but occasionally might throw in some hot coffee here and there. It's a cool little gift there. I did know this was coming. Speaking of which, speaking of VHS, if you remember, if you're on my stream a few weeks ago, or maybe even months ago, I was talking about how I was wanting to get the Star Wars VHS tapes in their most original, not touched up by Lucas format. And I didn't know what that was. And I don't know who it was. Chris Brogan or Picture Peepers or somebody in the group sent me a picture of what VHS box set I need to seek out. Because I didn't want the special edition VHS because George Lucas, I don't like all the George Lucas touch-ups and stuff. I want the original format, especially if I'm watching it on VHS and watching it with a CRT. I want the nitty-gritty, most, down and dirty version of Star Wars that I can get. Because that was some of the beauty of Star Wars anyways, was that, and I don't know why Lucas doesn't understand that, the beauty of Star Wars was that, like, it was this sci-fi adventure, but, like, everything was dirty and lived in the world. So, and he had that design, but then when he starts to polish things up with like special effects and things, I think it just kind of degrades that. But this is the box set of Star Wars on VHS, the trilogy, and now I get to watch it in its most original form. Like, look at these. Empire Strikes Back, and then Star Wars. It doesn't say A New Hope on it. It just says Star Wars. Look at that. What's everybody's favorite Star Wars movie, by the way? Mine is definitely Jedi. Did you track them down? Picture Peepers, you were the guy that told me about these. No, this is part of the box that Oni Baba Yaga sent me with everything else. He reached out to me after that stream and was like, hey, I have that box that I can send to you. But yeah, these are beautiful. These are great shape too. Can't wait to watch these. I wonder if I'll notice any differences. Like, I'll notice the differences right away. Because I think I don't know if I've... trying to think the first version of Star Wars that I watched as a kid. I remember watching the written and directed by George Lucas. It does have like an opening flap too, the box. It's kind of cool. Oh, the back opens too. It's that opening, it's like a spaceship. But I think the original version of Star Wars I saw in my life was the special edition box set on VHS, or when they reissued them in theaters in the late 90s. Was it late 90s, or was it around the time that Episode 1 came out? I can't remember. But those were the original. So this, I've never seen, I guess, the original Star Wars before. And I don't know that these might have some sort of changes or touch-ups from the original theatrical release. Let me know in the comments if that's the case. But regardless, I'm excited to watch these. Dun, dun, dun. Iced coffee is king. Since I had my kids, coffee intake has become dangerous. Oh, Peter, you have no idea. I drink so much coffee, and I do prefer iced coffee because it lasts longer. Like, I'll make a cup of iced coffee, and over the course of the first couple hours of the day, I'll be sipping on it. Hot coffee, you almost have to drink right away. Taylor Channel about to get taken down by the mouse just for showing off the VHS tapes. That'd be idiotic. Spaceballs. Funny story. My son hates Spaceballs. I tried watching it with him. And within 20 minutes, he said, "This is dumb. I'm not watching this anymore." And he walked out of the room. And I was like, "What? It's Spaceballs. It's so funny." And my wife loves it too. So it's one of those things where he just doesn't get it, I guess. I don't know. I think it's great though. I have a feeling he's going to watch it as an adult one day. Like, some friend or something's going to make him watch it. And then he's going to come back to me and say, like, "Oh, Spaceballs is actually good." Never seen a Star Wars film. Wow. That's interesting. They made it so hard to find them on DVD. I fell out of love with them. Or Laugh It Up, Fuzzball, the Family Guy Star Wars special. I like to make my own cold brew. I do that a lot too. Or do you mean like, I forget what those things are called. I have one though, which is how I normally drink my cold brew. Where you put like the coffee grinds in the middle of the thing and then fill it up with water and let it sit in the fridge for 24 hours. Is that what you mean? Because I do that a lot. Your son is a fake Hoosier. I'll tell him that. Your son will circle back and enjoy Spaceballs. Thank you for joining me, Gimli the Great. I think he will too. He's definitely, I mean, he's been at the stage for a long time where anything I like because it's dad is uncool, and it's utterly annoying to me. Like, I fight with him all the time about it. I'm like, "Oh, you should read this comic, or you should read this, or you should watch this movie." And every time he does watch whatever or read whatever, he does end up enjoying it. But he's got the thing where it's like, I have to discover on my own. I'm cooler than dad kind of thing. So I know there's going to be a lot of cases like that where he eventually goes and watches a movie or reads a book that I told him to read or something. And he'll circle back to it. Does your son like the Three Stooges? And do you? I haven't read a lot of watched a lot of Three Stooges in my life. I do love slapstick comedy though. I probably need to watch more Three Stooges. It just wasn't ever a thing that we had on in the house, and I never went back and discovered it. I have read the comics though, because my library has a collection of like done by paper cuts of Three Stooges comics. They're all right. But my son, I don't think he's ever watched Three Stooges. You're a giant Lord of the Rings fan, right? I'm not actually, and I think you're joking, but I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan. No, no hatred to people that are, but it's just never been a thing that I got into. All right, I'll make sure I don't miss anything here. Make sure you didn't slide any bookmarks or anything in there. The last 3 books are all one series, and he told me to open these on stream because there's something special inside. But they are, where's my knife go? From Oni Press, a series that I've always wanted to read, and I think it's totally up my alley. And I believe it's by Charles Sewell, right? And Raphael Albuquerque. These are printed by Oni Press. If anybody in the chat is getting the clues, maybe you'll know. Taylor hates the Lord of the Rings. He buys copies of books and throws them at children, I heard. What? Actually, I don't do that. I might throw them at my son too, like, hey, read this book. But I don't I throw it to him, you know? Like last year, I tried to get him to read X-Men. Usually what I do to trick him into reading things that I want him to read is I'll say I'll read a book that you want me to read and you read a book that I want to read. I want you to read or whatever. And we started it last year with X-Men. I was trying to get him to read the first epic collection of the Chris Claremont era. And he read Giant Size X-Men, which I know is not Claremont. But he read that one, and I think he said it was okay, and he never kept reading. So he's just not into superheroes either, which I think is a problem as far as trying to recommend superhero comics to him. He's really into manga, and unfortunately, there's not a lot of manga that I find appropriate for him at his age. So I am always on the hunt for appropriate all ages manga. He's really into Pokemon manga and Kirby, Cheese Sweet Home he loved a lot. But I did get him to read the X-Men manga though that came out, the first volume, and he did enjoy that. But there's a second volume of it, but unfortunately that's it. It never really continued on after that. So anyways, what I'm trying to say is eventually when he gets older, I think my manga collection will be what he spends the most time with. As I'm opening my third and final book. My Hero Academia, Josh, I did. So what I do usually to be a responsible parent is I'll read or watch the thing before him. So if it's a movie or TV show that I feel like might be inappropriate for him, or a book or comic or manga, I usually watch it or read it first, and then decide if I feel comfortable with him reading it or watching it. And My Hero Academia, we read the first volume. I read the first volume and said, okay, you can read this one. And then I read the second volume, and the issue I have with a lot of shonen manga is the kind of perviness of the characters. They always have to add that in. I don't know why. I don't understand it. Maybe it's just, I mean, I understand, I guess there's a market for it, but there's always one character that's always talking about wanting boobs and wanting to see girls naked and stuff. And it's so not part of the story at all. And I was like, can we just cut this part out? So that there was a lot of it in My Hero Academia. And wasn't there a character in there that she's like doesn't wear clothes, or she's like too much fan service? Yes, MZ Abrams, or she's like naked or invisible. I don't know what it was. But by the second volume, I was like, I don't think so. And that's my problem with all these shonen mangas. There's another one. It wasn't Naruto. It was which I've heard Naruto has some of that. It was something else. Oh, it was Yu-Gi-Oh! That's what it was. My son loves Yu-Gi-Oh! The anime, and he loves the card game. We play the card game together. Unfortunately for me, card games just aren't my thing. Pokemon card games. I told him I'd draw the line at Magic the Gathering. No offense to anybody who loves Magic the Gathering. I'm not trying to say like it's lame or bad. It just isn't my thing. And I've never been into it. I never got into it. It seems way too complicated for me. Card games just aren't they're not what I enjoy. So I told him I'm drawing the line at Magic the Gathering. He's got to learn how to play that and play with other people himself. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like the furthest I'll get into that and play with him. And so he loves the anime and he loves the card game. But then I started reading the manga to see if it's appropriate for him. And then there's all this like nonsense in there. It's like, why? Why is that in there? It's not in the anime and it's not in the card game. Enjoy your guild, walking nerds. What about Witch Hat Atelier? That's some fantastic all ages manga. Got to catch up. That's I think that's one that I've recommended to him because I've seen it in the store. I think didn't they come out with like really nice hardcovers of that? I don't know, but I've seen like the paperback tankobons in the store, and it is all ages. Is that I'm assuming it has to do with witches, right? Witches and magic, which he is into because he's a big Harry Potter fan, and he's read a bunch of other books and comics about witches and stuff, and that kind of witches and wizardry, magic that he's really dug. So I think he would read that. I just I don't know. I got to get him to read it. My smooth brain will not allow me to read from right to left. It's a learning curve for sure, but once you get there, it's easier than you think. I fought it for years because I just couldn't wrap my head around it. The reason I actually started reading manga was because my son was interested in it, and I had to like teach him how, because this was like years and years ago when he was like 6 or 7. I was like, let me figure this out, and then I'll teach you how to do it, because we read comics together at night. And the first one I read was Uzumaki by Junji Ito, and it just unlocked it for me. It just made sense to me how to read right to left. But the great thing was that it opened up so many other options of comics I could read. Why would you inflict X-Men on that poor kid? Harvey, I was just looking for a long superhero series that I thought he might dig, but alas, it did not work. Right, Harvey. Too much fan service. Yeah, that's the issue I have with those. That's the Japanese, including one American in all their books, referring to the pervy stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't get it. Yeah, I can enjoy some cheesecake and lechery, but it certainly pulls me out of the story. Even Dandadan did it a bit. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't understand. I guess it feels unnecessary to me, but I'm sure that people are like, what? Don't be such a prude. Just let him read Berserk. Oh, I'm sure. Yes. Should check out Spider-Man Kazuna and Spider-Man Octogirl. I've recommended those to him, and I think he was kind of interested. He might read those. Not to open this can of worms, Rurouni Kenshin doesn't have that. I don't know what can of worms you're opening, and I don't know what that is. What about Akira? That's one he's definitely interested in. He's seen my box set of it all the time, and he's like, oh man, when do I get to read that? Because I tell him all the time it's like the greatest manga of all time, in my opinion. I don't think there's any fan servicey or sexual stuff in there, is there? Here's the thing too, is like when I've read a book in the past, I wasn't reading it with the context of thinking about, is this appropriate for my son? So then I feel like I need to reread it. But I don't think so. I don't know. But if not, I might let him read that. He might be into it. If you have Netflix, watch Little Witch Academy. We do have Netflix, and he is always looking for anime. All ages that made me cry. Oh, He's always looking for anime to watch. Oh, he also loves his favorite is Beyblade. He loves the Beyblade toys, like he collects all the Beyblades, and he loves the Beyblade manga that he also watches, and then the Beyblade X TV show that's come out, and all the other past Beyblades. He's a huge fan of those as well. Yeah, basically student witches, but magic spells are cast through drawing and combining spells. Metaphor of art as literal magic. It's gorgeous. I'm gonna recommend that to him, because one thing, like I said, he doesn't like, whenever I recommend something to him, he's like, I don't want to watch. I don't want that because I said, like, Dad's lame and he likes lame stuff. But manga, usually, if I recommend manga to him, since he like has such an urge to read all the manga he can, or that I'll let him read, he usually agrees with that. I agree. Sorry, I was being smart with my American comment with the manga. Oh, you're fine. Okay, so the last 3 books are Letter 44, the giant size hardcovers from Oni Press. And look at this. They're autographed. They're signed by Charles Soule, or at least this first one is. Let me see this. Volume 2, also signed by Charles Soule. And Volume 3, also signed by Charles Soule. You can't really see that one because it's like dark paper, but these are great Oni Press books, though. They're just like the paper. Ooh, the paper quality. Whenever I see matte paper in a comic, it just does something for me. That's my fan service. It's whenever I open a comic book and it has matte paper. Oh man, I don't know what it is about matte paper in comics, but it makes me want to. It makes me want to read a series even more. That's part of the physical reading experience. But this is like a political sci-fi thriller, I think. I don't know much about it, but I've always wanted to read it because the way it's described is always great. Stephen Blades has just become the most powerful man on the planet, this planet. Elected the 45th president of the United States, Blades is eager to begin acting on his campaign promises. Yeah, so it's like political sci-fi drama. That's how it's described. And these are the same trim size as like the Kaiju Max books, and also the 6-gun books that Oni Press put out, which are slightly taller than your typical Absolute editions. So they don't fit in Kallax shelves, but I don't have Kallax shelves, so that's fine by me. But yeah, I've always wanted to read this because I do love good political drama, and the fact that you throw in sci-fi is cool. And I love Raphael Albuquerque's artwork. He's a really cool artist. And Charles Soule's writing. I don't think I've ever read anything by Charles Soule that I didn't enjoy. So all those combinations are definitely have me interested in the series. Has anybody in the chat read Letter 44? What'd you think of it? But again, the paper quality made me. This is gonna be on top of my list of read now. Of all these books he sent me, this is gonna be on top of my list. Letter 44. Maybe I'll do an extensive book review of it. And they all came with ribbons too. So yes, as a recap, Letter 44, volumes 1 through 3. An awesome Starbucks cup. A Star Wars on Starbucks. Did I say Starbucks or Star Wars? Starbucks cup. Star Wars on VHS. This Russian Josh Simmons book. 8 Billion Genies. So I have more Charles Soule in my life. Usagi Yojimbo book 8 to complete my collection. Or not complete my collection, but add to my collection. The Chuckling What's It. Image trade paperbacks of Assorted Crisis Events. The Moon is Following Us by Dana Warren Johnson and Riley Rosmo. And Falling in Love on the Path to Hell. And I also got Hobo Mom and these really cool looking horror comics that I'm going to love and enjoy probably. And put them in my 31 Days of Horror Comics. Oh, and the tote bag with Jaime Hernandez artwork. Thank you so much, though. Oni Baba Yaga, if you're watching this. I don't think you're in the chat with us today, but if you're watching this, I'm going to send you a message and let you know that I opened this today. But thank you so much. Blown away. Absolutely. Like it's it's mind blowing and humbling when anybody sends me books. He also sent me all these great bookmarks, this whole stack of awesome bookmarks. I'm going to enjoy and treasure these books. They're going to be in my collection forever. It's always like special to me when someone sends me books. So I buy and sell a lot of books in my time, but when someone sends me books in particular, I view it as like a gift, and they're always in my collection. I can never get rid of them. Like even if I upgrade, like even if Assorted Crisis Events gets a oversized hardcover and I upgrade to it, I'll still keep that book. They force feed pills to the women for tests in Akira. Little Witch is a school for magic. The main character wants to enjoy magic in her dream, but she's terrible at it. I wonder if he's watched that actually. Because he always goes through Netflix and Hulu and all this stuff and looks for like the rated Y anime. I wonder if I think he might have watched that. I don't know. Speaking of shelves, what do you have behind you? They look robust. They're basically Billy shelves from IKEA, but they're not. They're from Walmart, and I've customized them. Like I cut some down, trimmed them down, and made them because I wanted to fit. The idea was that I don't like when someone has a Kallax shelf and they put like a tankobon on it, and it's like there's all that space between the book and the shelf. I feel like that's so much wasted space. So my idea when customizing is I built them to be perfect trim size for things. So you can see like this shelf here fits like trade paperbacks perfectly. The shelf below it fits like omnibuses perfectly. And then up there at the top, those are like my manga size shelves. And then over here, I have some like absolute size shelves and things. I wanted like as little space above the book and the shelf as possible to maximize space. So they're basically generic Billies that I reinforced and customized. Does that make sense? That's a great haul. I agree. It's amazing. Amazing haul. Oni Baba Yaga, you're the viewer of the day. Viewer of the week. Viewer of the month. Kevin from Omnibuds read Letter 44 not long ago. Posted a review. It looked like a great book. Yeah, I know. And I know my friend Owen read it as well recently. I think he got the compendium for it. So, man, I'm stoked to read this. It looks like, look at this, like the back cover. It looks like they just go through a lot in this book. It kind of gives me vibes of like Fear Agent, but not. I'm sure it's not like as pulpy and singular in one character. I think it's more political and global in scale. Yes, that Owen. What about One Piece? My son and I are watching the live action One Piece, and it's really good. That is one I want to revisit because I read the first 3 volumes of that years and years ago. And hold on. Sorry, my cat was about to get injured. It looked like not injured, but like something was going to fall on her head. The way she was laying. One Piece. Oh, I read the first 3 volumes years and years ago. I have to go back and read it to see if it's appropriate. But I don't remember it having any fan servicey moments. But I know it's rated teen, but I think it's because language and violence, maybe, which typically I'm okay with as long as it's a certain degree. But I that's one I'll think about. The live action show, I was really excited to watch it with him. I watched the first few episodes and I really dug it. The first episode though ends with the I forget the name of the clown. At the end of the first episode. I know Josh is gonna kill me for this. Whatever the clown's name is. My son's like deathly afraid of clowns. So I was like, I don't know. He scares real easy too. We're actually in the process of watching Stranger Things. Buggy. Thank you, Josh. Slowly but surely we're watching Stranger Things like episode by episode and during the daytime, so it doesn't give him nightmares. And he's been really liking that and hasn't been scared about it. Sanji's a perv. Is he? But is there like fan servicey art, and I don't know. But he's been like in Stranger Things, so we'll see if he gets more into scary horror stuff. But he's always scared pretty easy. But that's a long show today. I went like an hour and 40 minutes. Thank you so much for everybody watching. I'm going to go through my last minute plugs. Put your last minute comments in the chat, and I'll address those after my plugs. But the first thing is scrolling down at the bottom of the screen right there. Give the video a thumbs up. Comment down below if you're watching this on replay. And subscribe if you haven't already, so you don't miss out on any of my videos. I go live every Wednesday at noon Eastern, so you don't want to miss out on that. And painterboundcomics.com is a great place to shop for your comics and graphic novels. You can use my promo code Taylor Talks Comics, all one word, Taylor Talks Comics, to save $2 off of your order. Or if you're going to put a larger order in, you're going to order 4 or more books, order at painterboundcomics.com. Use my other promo code TTC, ship it together. That's TTC, ship it together, all one word. And you'll save 5% off that order. They all have a bunch of books discounted already, and these savings just pile on top of those already beautiful discounts. And the Discord. Yes, thank you, James. I always forget. We have a Discord if you want to go chat comics over there with us. Off the air, you can join us over there. Anybody can join. And painterboundcomics.com. I want to get Creepy and Eerie from them. Josh, I will talk to them about that. I'll see. But thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Oni Baba Yaga, for the box. It's beautiful. Thank you so much. And everybody, keep talking comics.